Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast. My name is Anna, and I'm really excited today. We're talking about travel, one of my favorite topics. Traveling is amazing because it lets you see new places, meet new people, and experience things you could never imagine at home. Sometimes it's relaxing, sometimes it's adventurous, and sometimes it's just full of surprises.
Hi, Anna. And hello to everyone listening. I completely agree. Travel is like opening a window to the world. Every trip teaches us something, not just about the place, but about ourselves. You notice things you never saw before. You feel emotions you didn't expect. And sometimes the simplest moments become the most memorable.
That's so true. Some of my favorite memories from traveling aren't from famous landmarks, but from small experiences, like chatting with the local shopkeeper or sitting in a quiet cafe and watching life pass by. Those moments stay with you forever.
Absolutely. And the best part is sharing those experiences with someone else. Talking about your trips makes the memories even richer. Today, we're going to share our own travel stories, favorite places, cultural surprises, tips, and funny experiences.
I can't wait. I hope our listeners feel inspired to plan their next adventure after this episode.
Me too. Let's start with our first travel experiences.
So, Ben, thinking back, what was your first big trip? How did it feel?
Oh, I remember it vividly. I went to Thailand with my family when I was 12. Everything was so new. The colors, the smells, the food, the beaches, even the sounds of the streets were exciting. I remember walking down the night market and feeling overwhelmed by all the lights and the delicious smells. At first, I was nervous because it was my first trip out of the country, but I quickly felt a sense of adventure I had never felt before.
That sounds incredible. I think the first trip away from home always feels magical. For me, it was Singapore. I went with some classmates on a school program. It was the first time I traveled without my parents, and I felt nervous, but also really proud. I remember walking through Little India and Chinatown, seeing all the shops and food stalls. It felt like exploring a whole new world.
Traveling without parents is a big step. What did you enjoy the most there?
Honestly, the city itself. Everything was clean, organized, and safe. Public transportation was easy to use, and I loved the mix of modern buildings and cultural landmarks. I especially loved Marina Bay Sands and Gardens by the Bay. Walking through the gardens at night felt surreal with lights and music around me.
Wow, that sounds magical. For me, street food in Thailand was unforgettable. Some dishes were delicious, some were extremely spicy. I remember trying a noodle dish that burned my mouth, but I didn't want to stop eating. My family laughed at me while I was sweating and crying at the same time.
Spicy food is always memorable. Did anything else funny happen during that trip?
Oh, yes. Once we took a boat trip to an island and I fell asleep on the deck. When I woke up, I was sunburned on one side only. My sister couldn't stop laughing at me. That's the kind of memory that stays with you forever.
I know exactly what you mean. For me, in Singapore, I got lost in Chinatown. I couldn't read the map, and I kept passing the same fruit stall multiple times. After about 30 minutes, I laughed at myself because it turned into a little adventure rather than a problem.
Now, let's talk about favorite destinations. Anna, which place holds a special place in your heart?
That's tough because every place has something unique. But if I had to pick, I'd say Paris. Walking along the Seine at night, seeing the Eiffel Tower sparkle, it felt like a dream. The streets, the cafes, the music, everything created such a magical atmosphere. I even sat in a small cafe for hours watching people pass by, feeling completely immersed in the city's life.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Did you try any French food there?
Of course, I had croissants every morning. They were buttery and soft, just perfect. I also tried escargot. At first, it seemed strange, but when I tasted it, it was surprisingly delicious. Food is such a big part of travel for me because it helps you connect with the culture.
Absolutely. For me, Japan is my favorite. I visited Tokyo and Kyoto. Tokyo is lively, full of lights and energy, while Kyoto is peaceful, full of temples and traditional houses. Walking through Kyoto felt like traveling back in time. I loved the balance between the modern and the traditional.
That sounds incredible. Did you try Japanese food too?
Yes, sushi, ramen, takoyaki, and even some street snacks I didn't know existed. Every meal was an experience. I remember sitting at a tiny ramen shop with just a few locals and feeling completely part of the city for a moment.
That's why travel is so magical. It's about seeing, tasting, smelling, and feeling new things that change how you see the world. One of the best parts of traveling is learning about culture. Then, what cultural difference surprised you the most?
In Japan, people bow when they greet each other. At first, I didn't know how to respond. Later, I understood it's a sign of respect. Even small gestures mean a lot. I also noticed people are very quiet on trains. It was so peaceful, different from what I'm used to.
That's true. In contrast, in Italy, people are very expressive. They use their hands when talking, and their voices are loud. It feels lively, warm, and very welcoming.
Yes, and meal times are very different too. In Japan, meals are calm and polite, while in Italy, meals are long, social, and full of conversation. It's interesting to see how culture affects everyday life.
I also noticed small habits can be surprising. In Thailand, people greet with a Y, a small bow with hands together. It shows respect in a subtle, beautiful way.
Every culture has its own rhythm. Learning about it helps you understand and appreciate the world more. Meeting locals and observing daily life is the best way to learn.
Absolutely. Even small gestures like saying thank you or smiling can make connections stronger.
Ben, let's share some travel tips. My first tip, travel light. Heavy bags make you tired quickly. Only bring what you really need.
That's a great tip. Mine, always carry a small water bottle. Walking and exploring all day makes you thirsty. Staying hydrated is very important.
Another tip, learn a few basic words in the local language. Even hello, thank you, or sorry makes a difference. It shows respect and effort.
Exactly. When I said merci in France, people smiled warmly at me. It made my day.
Another tip is keep a notebook or use your phone to record memories. Later, reading it brings back feelings and stories vividly.
I also suggest planning, but leaving space for surprises. Sometimes unplanned moments become the best memories.
Absolutely. Flexibility is key. Don't stress if things don't go exactly as planned. Enjoy the moment.
And always take time to talk with locals. They often know hidden places and give tips you won't find in guidebooks.
Now, time for funny stories. Ben, do you have one? Oh, yes. In Thailand, I wanted mild street food. I got the spiciest dish ever. I cried, sweated, and drank water nonstop. My family laughed at me for hours. Later, we all agreed it was hilarious.
That's so funny. I had a similar experience in Vietnam. I got lost in a busy market. I walked in circles for 20 minutes, seeing the same fruit stall over and over. I laughed at myself, but it turned into a little adventure rather than a problem.
Did you finally find your way out?
Yes, an old lady guided me out. She didn't speak English, but her gestures worked perfectly. It showed me how kind strangers can be.
That's wonderful. Another story from me. Once on a boat trip, I fell asleep on the deck and got sunburned on one side. Everyone laughed at me for hours.
Haha, I had another coffee mishap in Italy. I thought I ordered iced coffee. I got hot espresso. I drank it quickly, pretending I knew what I was doing. These surprises make travel memorable.
Exactly. Mistakes and surprises are part of the fun. They create stories we tell for years.
Today we shared our first trips, favorite places, cultural surprises, tips, and funny stories.
Travel is more than seeing places. It's about learning, growing, and connecting with people and cultures.
Even exploring nearby cities can feel like travel if you're curious.
Yes, travel is about curiosity, flexibility, and open eyes. Every trip teaches something new.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed our travel talk.
Share your travel stories with us next time.
Stay curious and keep exploring.
And safe travels wherever you go.
Bye.
Bye-bye.